Welcome back. Over the last few times, we've looked at two examples of the Book of Mormon using Egyptian personal names and consider that as possible evidence that the Book of Mormon was originally composed in the language of the Egyptians. Now, the two examples we've looked at were both Nephi and Aha, which were unknown to anyone in 1829 when Joseph was translating the Book of Mormon. This fact offers some evidence concerning the historicity of the Book of Mormon, but what does the careful scrutiny of the text show about that? Well, personally, my Hebrew is no better than my Egyptian. But what that means, even though I have taken some Hebrew classes, I can read only a simple level. However, there are a number of Hebraisms in the book, some of which are subtle, a few are overt, and in my opinion, one is particularly striking. In Omni 14, we are introduced to the term Zarahemla, which is both the name of an individual and of his followers. This is a very interesting Hebrew word. The group purports to be the descendants of a people who fled Jerusalem at the time of the destruction of the temple in 586 BC by the Babylonians. We read about that in Omni 15. This group is unknown outside the Book of Mormon. And through most of the 195 years since the book was published, this alleged story has been the object of much ridicule. However, we will devote an entire video to this group and its likely real history, which has been obscured by a serious error in the 1830 edition of the Book of Mormon and all subsequent editions of the book. This may be shocking to some, but there is this error in the Book of Mormon. So today I will ask our viewers to restrain or at least defer their curiosity and focus on the use of the personal name Zarahemla. The first thing to recognize is that Zarahemla is a compound word in Hebrew. It consists of the words Zerah and Hemla. Zerah means seed, like an apple seed, or like the offspring or descendants, such as the seed of Abraham. Hemla can mean compassion. Thus, the compound word can be seed of compassion or seed of mercy, or more freely, offspring of compassion, or even an offspring of an act of compassion. All those are justifiable in Hebrew. So the theory would be that since the Babylonians, following the capture of Jerusalem, captured King Zedekiah, even though he tried to escape, and brought all of his sons before him, as you know from the narrative, they killed them all before Zarahemla, and then put out Zarahemla's eyes. So the last thing he saw was the massacre of all his children, except one. And clearly any child that escaped would be the seed of God's compassion. And his descendants might be properly called seed of compassion or Zarahemla. We will explore this extraordinary story next time and see other groups that exist today that have this very ancient and similar origin stories. Join us as we travel to Homer's island of the Lotus Eaters and meet and worship with a group of Jews who claim not only to have the oldest synagogue in the world, but also be the seed or descendants of the priests of the temple who fled its destruction in 586 BC by the Babylonians, and whose claim is supported by DNA. Thanks. We look forward to seeing you then.